The last video I made, I talked about my traveling desktop video editing kit. And I got a lot of comments, I got a lot of flags saying, oh, your setup is still too heavy, it's still too complicated, and I'm just doing too much. Well, I agree. So I minimized it even further from 6+ items to now just 3. The computer, the input, and the display. And to show you how much more mobile my setup is, I'm setting up right here at the back of my truck. The beauty of my Ford Maverick is that it has a power outlet right here on the bed, which is serendipitous for my new kit. Here's the Mac Mini plugged straight into the truck, folding keyboard / trackpad which folds away so neatly. And the heart of this new kit, the virtual glasses, which makes me feel like Iron Man because it projects a hologram. Well, not hologram, it projects a display right in front of me. Okay, let's dive into the kit. First, this is the Mac Mini M4 Pro, and to clarify even further from my other video, I didn't buy this to travel, okay? This is my home studio computer. I'm a video editor by trade, and I've owned this for 2 years. It's just that when I'm called to travel for on-site and on-location editing, I just pack this setup with me on my trip. Have you seen the prices of laptops these days? RAM, AI just made things so unaffordable, so I'm sticking with this. This is the base model M4 Pro, which has 24 gigs of RAM, which is more than enough for all of my professional work. Video editing, color grading in DaVinci Resolve, Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator, Premiere Pro, After Effects, all of the things. This can handle it all. The only difference from this setup from the last is that I removed the Ugreen dock. That way I can slim down my setup even more. And speaking of slimming down the setup, this is the Proto Arc folding keyboard / trackpad. And even though it's made out of plastic and it feels flimsy when you hold it, when you lay it flat, there's not a lot of flex. This folding keyboard / trackpad was actually a good find on Amazon. I'll link it below. That means I don't have to pack a separate mouse with me. How cool is that? So slim, so light. The keys are decent enough to type on, although of course it's not comparable to my low-profile mechanical keyboard. The trackpad is where I have some complaints. It works, but to click, you have to exert a fair amount of force. It's easier if you went down here. This is definitely going to be a friction point when it comes to long-term use. And this is the VITURE Beast XR glasses. This is what makes my whole setup so interesting. I was pleasantly surprised when I started using it, and I didn't expect it to work as well as it did. At first I thought it was a fun gimmick, like whoa, hologram, display, whatever, but I was wrong. I can actually work with this thing. Look how bright that wall is, and you can see the photo I'm editing right now. It's really crisp, really clear, very immersive actually. But before I dive into more details, I have to let you know that this part of the video is sponsored by VITURE. The VITURE Beast XR creates a 174-inch virtual screen wherever you are. It has Sony micro OLED display panels, 1200p per eye, 120Hz refresh rate, which matters more than you think because lower refresh rates strain your eyes over time, which gets very uncomfortable. It has Harman audio speakers built into the frame, so you don't need additional headphones. There's also an ultra-wide 32:9 mode for the Mac, and for a video editor, that is genuinely useful. That's a lot of screen real estate. There's a dimming function which allows you to adjust how much of the real world you want to see behind your glasses. It's about 88 grams, so it's not that heavy when you wear it on your face. If you've ever used VR headsets before, let me tell you, that can get very cumbersome. This one though, these glasses are shockingly wearable and thus usable. If you want to check it out, I have a link in the description. Use the code Lepiten for a 10% discount. Time check, 3 p.m. and the sun is way up there. Look how bright that is. So it's super bright out right now. Look how clear that is. That's insane. Getting a little hot. The sun is just right here in my face. So let me pack up. Okay, it was getting pretty hot out there, so I had to set up here in my home studio to finish the rest of the video. I was just out in the truck setting up my mobile kit to prove a point. But now that we're here, I do want to tell you my full honest take. Is this thing actually useful? Is it practical? Does it even make sense? Is it just a gimmick? Well, I wouldn't say so. I'm usually a fan of gimmicks because with gimmicks come innovation. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But when they do and it sticks, well, it's a game changer. This hasn't quite gotten there yet, but it's close. It's very close. When it comes to entertainment, these are genuinely exceptional. Browsing the internet, watching YouTube, shows, or even movies. Especially gaming on my Steam Deck. Oh man, this is just so immersive. Ultimate couch gaming experience. What I personally cannot wait to try is watch movies on the plane. The built-in speakers or headphones that are in the frame are just so useful. I always have love-hate relationships with headphones or even earbuds because they're very uncomfortable to the ear. These, I've been wearing glasses my whole life, so these are just very natural. The sound just sounds like it was coming from the room itself. The audio is still super crisp, super clear without the person beside you hearing what you're listening to or watching. Unless you're blasting it on full volume, of course. Then obviously they'll hear that you're watching High School Musical. No judgment. No judgment. But okay, aside from entertainment, how does it fare when it comes to work? Because this is supposed to be my mobile work setup. For light, short periods of work, it holds up. Browsing the internet, admin work, emails, light design work, short photo editing sessions, even short video editing sessions. It still works. I can do serious work with it. I can edit a full video, sure, but I can't do it for long periods of time. The resolution compared to my portable monitor or even my home studio monitor is noticeably softer. It's 1200p on each eye, which supposedly is close to a 4K experience. I don't know enough to dispute that, but from my personal experience, the pixel density isn't the same. I'm not saying it's bad at all. I'm just saying that if I have to stare at fine details for longer periods of time, my eyes will get fatigued for sure. Especially for color critical work, photo editing, video editing, checking in and zooming into the fine detail, you'll definitely feel the limitations. And the virtual screen, as impressive as it is, doesn't fully replace a dedicated monitor. At least not yet. Not yet. And that's what I'm saying. For light use, it's perfectly fine, but for entertainment, that is where it gets really fun. In the last Mac Mini video I posted, I deliberately chose not to use a laptop. In this video, I deliberately chose not to use a portable monitor. In my next video, should I try to minimize this even further? Or should I just admit defeat and get a laptop? Because this setup right here, is it practical? Mostly. Is it the future? Possibly. Maybe. Is this what happens when I refuse to get a laptop? Apparently yes. If I do get a laptop, it needs to be a very capable home studio editing machine first and a traveling video editing laptop second. Because yes, a laptop does make sense practically, but where's the fun in that?